accelerates, stays on his feet, still going, and look at Fry. Fry accelerates more. He's going to have a Red Runners. Bill Williams guilty first down for the Cougars. Roy's brought down at the 3-yard line. Ranked teams in the state of Mississippi, let alone the country. And there is C.J. Eldridge. Eldridge putting on the move, turns inside, accelerates, let's see, and he's going to drag the opponent into the end zone. C.J. Eldridge. I thought Joshua Woods was taking people for a ride, but there goes C.J. Eldridge. Watch this right here. Number 0, Courtney Moore, gets on his back and has bought a ticket into his own end zone. Nice work by C.J. Eldridge. I'll tell you what, he has been excellent this year. Down,
And how are we saved by God's wrath? How are we saved from God's wrath? Only through the eternal, complete, perfected work of Jesus Christ when he died on the cross in our place for our sins. That's the only way we're saved.
In a city that seamlessly blends the comforts of a small town and the amenities of a big city, we're proud to be banking beyond expectation right here in Alabama.
It only seems to get hotter as the summer wears on, especially when your air conditioning isn't keeping up. There is never a good time for your unit to quit working, but when it does, you know who to trust to fix it right. Keep it cool and reduce those high energy bills. Hemp Hill Services, your Bryant authorized dealer, will do whatever it takes to fix your air conditioning quickly and affordably. Known for their fair pricing and fast service, call your certified Bryant dealer Hemp Hill Services today for all tune-ups, repairs, and installation. 229-2090.
Pick a partner you can trust when your biggest investment is on the line. You can visit our website at BrettRogersRealtor.com, or you can call me anytime at 205-540-1182. And let's get you to the closing table.
Game day at Walk-Ons is just different, and it starts with the way our teammates prep each dish from our scratch menu. No shortcuts. We are hand-cutting every single mozzarella log straight from the block. Hand peeling, stuffing, and bacon wrapping each voodoo shrimp. Hand carving ribeyes for our steaks and po' boys. And hand slicing, then tossing our boneless wings and our house-made sauces. With wall-to-wall TVs and food like this, why would you want to watch anywhere else? That's game day. The Walk-Ons way.
Hello, welcome to Clay Chalkwood High School. I'm Dr. Eugene Dallas, the principal of Clay Chalkwood High School. And I just want to take a little time to show you the greatness that we have here at Clay Chalkwood High School. We have a multitude of programs that help encapsulate everything that we do here, from culinary to health science, pharmacy tech, and for the first time ever, even a fishing team. So come with me on this brief journey as I show you the greatness of Clay Chalkwood High School.
All right, welcome to the Big Clay Coaches Show, coming to you live from Walk-Ons here in Trussville, Alabama. I'm Freddie Flowers, the voice of the Cougars. We're glad you are here with us this evening. As always, to my left is head coach Stuart Floyd. Another victory. How you feeling?
I'm pretty good. DJ's about to get a whooping.
Yes. I think he's getting ready to go run on some of that old field turf out there. Go do some laps.
Nah, I'm good.
So, you know, we're in game 4. We're 4-0. How are the players reacting so far?
I mean, I think they're just, you kind of break it up into segments of the season, and obviously once you kind of get past those first 4 games, it's everybody knows what's kind of coming, the next few weeks, really till the end of the season at this point.
Yeah, and what's about to happen, we're going to talk about Brandon a little bit later, but we're about to get into the real meat of the schedule. But before we get into that, the Shades Valley game. Obviously, George Bates, long history. He was at Minor, spent a cup of coffee at Woodlawn, then at Center Point, and now Shades Valley. how did the players look at that game? Because when you look at them on film, they know what they saw. What out of that game did you see, and where do you see some need for, hey guys, we got to stay on it, kind of?
Yeah, I think kids aren't stupid. They look at records and they can kind of see on film, what people look like. But at the same time, I think you've got to kind of develop a healthy respect, really, for anybody you're playing. But the big kind of emphasis for us in the week was, just the little details that were maybe were lacking a little bit, that we're starting to see, on film week after week. So really it was just kind of about tightening those things up. But those games are sometimes they're difficult to prepare for. At the same time, you don't want to show a lot on film, maybe in that game, because of your opponents. They get that film, and so sometimes those games are hard to prepare for. And then you also, if you do what you're supposed to do, a lot of people get to play, and so that's a benefit of those games.
Yeah, and obviously, like you said, it's real hard. They're very much aware, social media and everything else out there. Was there anything that stood out to you in that game? I mean, and fans, here's a stat for you. Clay Chalkville has outscored Shades Valley over the last 19, 20 quarters, 238-7. That's a fact. So, you take that into consideration coming out of that game. It's another game. It's under our belts. What key things did you see out of that game, especially from the youngsters, that really impressed you?
Yeah, I mean, really and truly, like, you want to come out of the game healthy. That's always a big thing. And then, obviously with, your twos getting in there, you want to see them to be able to kind of operate and run the stuff. And they've had a chance to play, in really 3 out of the 4 games. And so they've gotten some really, really good experience under the lights. Like CJ here tonight, and he's done really, really well in the last couple of weeks. We got some guys on defense, but obviously the defensive performance was really good. It was a hard night for Shades Valley. They're missing their quarterback, so I say that with that's not. I don't think it's indicative of who they are week in and week out if they have their real quarterback. But nonetheless, I mean, they've been playing well defensively, every week, whether quarterback's in there or not. So I thought it was a good night. Offensively, I thought sometimes you get in those games, and I don't know that you quite execute like you would like to execute. Maybe you try to force some things and get people the ball that's not in your reads, right? Mm-hmm. And we try to force people to get touchdowns and whatever, and I think you just lose sight sometimes of just doing what you're supposed to do or coached to do. And so we had a nice conversation at halftime, and I thought we came back out in the second half and played a little better.
They do. And Shades Valley obviously scrappy. And speaking of scrappy, here we are, another border war game. Now, let's see, Florida, check. Georgia, check. Tennessee, check.
Yep.
That would be Niceville. That would be Griffin.
Blackman,
and that would be Blackman, Tennessee.
Yep.
And, of course, during the Niceville game in 2014, for those of you who don't know, Clay Chalkville was supposed to play Hoover. And Hoover, had the ESPN deal going. And, well, hey, we'll get an opponent for you. And the fun part about that was that Hoover played Miami Central first. And Miami Central was the 6A team, Niceville being the 7A team. So, quote, unquote, we were supposed to play the bigger team. Hoover ended up losing on national television, and we ended up winning. As a matter of fact, Terrell West had the ESPN Play of the Week when he trucked their 4-star linebacker. And that video is still getting shown today. Tell me, out of those border war games, what sticks out to you the most, and what's your biggest memory from those?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the one with Niceville. I mean, to me, that game kind of kick-started where we're at now, right? You know, I know there was a lot that went in. You know, there were a few years where it was kind of building toward that, but that was really the game that kind of put Clay Chalkville on a national scale, to where people, you know, knew who they were. You know, we played really well, had a good game plan. We went down and watched them in Pensacola in the spring, and really spent all summer working on them. Played well. You know, that was kind of Piggy T's breakout party. Didn't know if he was going to be worth the crap or not, but he ended up being really, really good. You know,
yes, he was very much worth a crap.
Yeah. You know, and TJ was good, and Nico.
You had a dynamo at the receiver spot. You had Nico on one side, and you had TJ on the other.
Yeah. You know, and TJ or Nico was a 10th grader at that time, so you didn't really know what you're getting with him. But and Terrell was just, you know, really the leader of that group, and defensively we were really good. You know, we just had a good team. Obviously, if you win 15 games in a row, you got a great team. But that was a fun game. And even going to Blackman, Tennessee, that was the next year. They were
played at Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, and they were coming off state championship in the previous year, and they had a lot of people back. But that was a fun game as well. You just don't ever know, like when you're playing these out-of-state teams, you know, really what you're getting into. You can kind of look at film and kind of guesstimate, but you don't know these programs and their coaches and their histories and their backgrounds. You just don't know, you know, like how good their program is. And so that's kind of where we're at, you know, going into this game. You know, it just you know, looking ahead, it's like since 2021, Brandon has won probably either 11 or 12 games every year for the last 5 years. And so kind of the message that I'm giving to the players is it's a winning program you're playing, right? Their senior class has played in 2 state championships and 3 semifinals. So they've been there and done that. And so to me, they're very similar to us in the winning tradition. You know, if I had to compare them team-wise, they're very similar to a Muscle Shoals or an Oxford or somebody like that we would be familiar with.
Well, we're going to get into Brandon just a little bit later. So, fans, you know, we're looking to see Florida check, Tennessee check, Georgia check. We got one to the west to see if we can do it. I'm Freddie Flowers, the voice of the Cougars. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. This is the Big Clay Coaches Show coming to you live from Walk-Ons here in Trussville, Alabama.
Let's get started.
It's literally, and how are we saved by God's wrath? How are we saved from God's wrath? Only through the eternal, complete, perfected work of Jesus Christ when he died on the cross in our place for our sins. That's the only way we're saved.
In a city that seamlessly blends the comforts of a small town and the amenities of a big city, we're proud to be banking beyond expectation right here in Alabama.
It only seems to get hotter as the summer wears on, especially when your air conditioning isn't keeping up. There is never a good time for your unit to quit working, but when it does, you know who to trust to fix it right. Keep it cool and reduce those high energy bills. Hemp Hill Services, your Bryant authorized dealer, will do whatever it takes to fix your air conditioning quickly and affordably. Known for their fair pricing and fast service, call your certified Bryant dealer Hemp Hill Services today for all tune-ups, repairs, and installation. 229-2090.
All right, welcome back. Big Clay Coaches Show here at Walk-Ons. We've got two really good offensive players this week. On the far left, we've got Big Powell. This is Tavares Powell, but everybody calls you were Little Powell for what, 2 years, and now you're Big Powell. So we got Tavares Powell. This is our right tackle, and then we got my baby right here. This is C.J. Eldridge. He is our one of our quarterbacks, and he is the hardest person to tackle on our team. But both these guys have done a really, really good job, and it's been these are two of our really, really good kids. So glad to have them here tonight. So Tavares, we'll start with you. Briefly talk about just your journey, kind of what you did to get to where you've been, right?
All right. At first, I started off as a guard. I rotated in and out, and so I had trouble starting. But next year, my junior year, this year, I worked, and I feel like I worked hard and I earned my spot.
Yeah, you did work hard. He is definitely one of the people that I tell coaches it's been amazing to watch his progression from where he started to where he is now. And not finished yet, but definitely on a good trajectory. And this little guy beside me right here, so we got football, baseball, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Play catcher, which I really like that. And the surprising thing is you played football 8th grade, right?
Yes, sir.
But you didn't play quarterback.
No,
what
sir.
did you play?
Outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker?
Yeah.
What in the world?
Wide receiver.
And wide receiver. And why did you not play quarterback?
No, I had broke my arm my 7th grade year. We would play against Hewitt. I ain't play quarterback no more after that.
You were scared, weren't you?
He
was scared. He was scared he was going to get hurt. So just watching him the last really year and a half, his progression playing quarterback has been really, really fun to watch. He's got some pieces where he kind of reminds me of Aaron, and he kind of reminds me of Piggy a little bit. He doesn't know Piggy, but he's going to, for the next couple of years, I think we're in really, really good hands. So got some questions for you guys, and you're going to have to think, okay? And I want them, this is not about football, this is more about you as the person. Tavares, is there a food combination that you have that's really weird that nobody knows about?
I'll say probably like pizza and ranch.
That's not that weird, though. Pizza and ranch, I think a lot of people do that.
I don't really know.
Well, you just think about it. CJ, you got anything?
I be eating Rice Krispie treat with Cheetos. Like I be eating together.
Why? Why would you do that?
Well, I'm talking about regular Cheetos, like the cheese curls.
Yeah, but with a Rice Krispie treat?
Yeah.
Wow. I think you may be the only person that's tried that. So my daughter, she puts like ketchup on her eggs. Yeah, I know. That sounds disgusting. I know you guys, y'all don't really have playlists anymore. Y'all probably don't know what a playlist is, do you? Like what are those things called, the iPod? Y'all didn't have one. Yeah, y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. Is there, Tavares, is there a song that you listen to that probably if everybody knew it, you'd be embarrassed?
Knew it if I'd be embarrassed.
Huh?
I'll say like an R&B song.
Oh. Just anything R&B?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Bruno Mars or something?
Yeah.
You listen to Bruno Mars? Okay, I like it. I like Bruno Mars. Yeah. CJ, you got anything?
Nah, I got a song, but I don't think nobody listen to it. But like me and Fry, it's called Sweater Weather. Like it's some song like we listen to before the game.
Is that like a sweater weather?
Sweater Weather.
Sweater weather.
Yeah.
Is that what kind of genre is that?
It's like I don't know. I just found it on TikTok and I liked it, so I listen to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So tell me this. These are called Would You Rather questions. Okay. Let's see. Would you rather accidentally score for the other team or trip over nothing, like on an open touchdown? That'd probably be more for you than anything.
Trip. I think Trip. Yeah. Turf Monster.
You would rather have the turf monster?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we could probably look past that, honestly, but you scoring for the other team. Fun fact, when I was about 12, I played AAU basketball, and I was the leading scorer on both teams.
Huh?
Yeah, like we won like 52-4, and I scored 2 of the 4 points. I went the wrong way, like out of bounds in the third quarter. I went the wrong way, hit a layup, and, was the leading scorer for both teams. That's pretty bad. Talk about this, Tavares. If there was one skill or talent that you could master, like anything, what would it be? Like non-football related.
Non-football? Like a talent isn't
like an instrument or like another language, or you could do open heart surgery on somebody. I don't know, anything.
I feel like another language would be cool.
If you could learn another language?
Yeah,
well, they have those opportunities at our school.
Well, I feel like learning like a lot of languages, like
if you could be, is that multilingual or bilingual? Bilinguals too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about you?
Probably playing the band, like do the drums, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would. Is that percussion? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Is that percussion? Yeah. So playing an instrument or being in the drum line?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've secretly always kind of wanted to be able to, not secretly, I do want to be able to play the drums, but I don't have like any coordination, hand-eye coordination or rhythm or anything like that. So I would struggle with that. Cheek, how much time we got? 2 minutes? Okay. Let's do this. Tavares, if you had one rule that the whole world could follow for one day, what would it be?
One rule. I feel like that's a good question.
That is a good question. Did I get you on that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. CJ, you got anything?
No, I'm thinking. I'm trying to see.
I think for me, like, I think if everybody didn't use their blinker for a day, or maybe everybody had to use their blinker for one day, right? Everybody. Because apparently nobody in this town knows how to use a blinker, and they look at you like you're crazy, that they're turning and you didn't know that. We'll finish up with this. Lastly, just talk about. We'll go with you, CJ, first. Who inspires you to play quarterback?
Lamar Jackson, Marcel Reed. Them the only two.
Yeah. What have you learned from Aaron? Just kind of watching him.
A lot.
Is he a good teammate?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. They, for those of you who don't know, they've got a pretty good relationship. Aaron's been a kind of a good big brother to him, and so it's been fun to watch them. I would say there's probably no ego in our room at all. Tavares, how about you?
I'd say Caden Proctor or Trent Williams.
Trent Williams. I wish you'd come out of the locker room bebopping like he does. We need to get you one of those big speakers they carry. Yeah, that would be really good. All right, Cheek, how much time we got? We good? I need like a clock up here, man. This is I come up here. I don't know. I need a countdown or something. All right, guys, you did awesome, man. We'll be right back with the Big Clay Coaches Show.
Pick a partner you can trust when your biggest investment is on the line. You can visit our website at BrettRogersRealtor.com, or you can call me anytime at 205-540-1182. Let's get you to the closing table.
Game day at Walk-Ons is just different, and it starts with the way our teammates prep each dish from our scratch menu. No shortcuts. We are hand-cutting every single mozzarella log straight from the block, hand-peeling, stuffing, and bacon wrapping each voodoo shrimp, hand-carving ribeyes for our steaks and po' boys, and hand-slicing, then tossing our boneless wings and our house-made sauces. With wall-to-wall TVs and food like this, why would you want to watch anywhere else? That's game day, the Walk-Ons way.
Hello, welcome to Clay Chalkwood High School. I'm Dr. Eugene Dallas, the principal of Clay Chalkwood High School, and I just want to take a little time to show you the greatness that we have here at Clay Chalkwood High School. We have a multitude of programs that help encapsulate everything that we do here, from culinary to health science, pharmacy tech, and for the first time ever, even a fishing team. So come with me on this brief journey as I show you the greatness of Clay Chalkwood High School.
Let's get started.
All right, we are back.
Yes, sir.
It's the Big Clay Coaches Show, and I got two large human beings beside me. Beside me, I've got Mr. Old Man Penn. This is E.J. Penn, and we've got Quentin Lowe on the end. You may know Quentin. He was here last week. Apparently, you had another good game, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's how you ended up here. All right, let's talk about it. Last week, okay, tell me about game, how it went. That was a big game for you. That's probably the best you played, wasn't it? Yes?
I have more in the tank, but yes.
You got more in the tank?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll find out. We'll find out Friday. But that was kind of your coming out party, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Kulo, how was your night?
I had a pretty good night. I got my first sack.
You got your first sack. You know how you get sacks? If you're a linebacker, you know how you get sacks?
Rush the quarterback.
Yeah, they let you blitz, right? Who do they normally let blitz?
Isaiah.
Yeah. They need to maybe let you blitz some more. So if the defensive coordinator's watching, maybe he should let you blitz more, right?
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should. No, y'all had a really good night. I forget, what was it, like 30 or 40 yards total offense? 30? Yeah, I've never heard of such. Do y'all enjoy playing those type games, or do y'all like more of the, like, it's going to be a really, really good game?
Well, I enjoy knowing that we're going to come out and compete and have some good competition and put our skills to the test.
You like the competitive game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we all do. Those are hard games to prepare for. So if you watch last segment, first of all, hold on, let's do this. Last week I asked Kulo if he had any questions for me, and you had none. Did somebody help you with these questions?
No, I got one of my own. Then I got a recommended question too.
Okay, well, let's hear it. Is this going to get me in trouble or fired?
No, I'm going to ask you the first question.
Okay.
Why do you think rags are better than loafers?
What is it?
Rags are better than loafers. Why do you think that?
Rags?
Yeah, like washing rags.
Oh, no. He's saying, why do I think wash rags are better than loofahs, is what he's saying. Yeah, so backstory, we had a whole conversation. Well, first of all, there's 2 or 3 loofahs. Those are the wash things in the shower, right? Well, apparently there's 2 or 3 grown men that have loofahs, and I don't know what grown men they are, but I was like, I don't know who would have a loofah in the shower, but apparently there's some loofahs, and Kulo was like, he didn't think there's anything wrong with it. And so your question is, why do I think rags are better than loofahs? I think loofahs are more designed maybe for women. The fact that they're pink and purple, and like they don't have like manly color loofahs, do they?
I'm pretty sure they do.
Do they? I've never seen one. But that's, and I think maybe it's the texture of the loofah. I just don't like it. I don't know. You ever use that? You have no idea what loofah is, do you?
I do.
You do? Oh, gosh.
But I don't use it.
Okay, good. I was worried both of y'all might have had one.
No,
what is your other question?
Who do you think is the best white receiver that you done coached?
The best white receiver? Probably Logan Pruitt, honestly. I mean, I don't know. Anybody but Justin Burdett. Yeah.
What about Coach Cheek?
No, we're close in age. I didn't coach him. Yeah, we're close in age. Yeah, that's bad, right? He looks older than I look. Are you kidding me right now? Huh? I don't think so. Yeah, so I'm assuming Coach Burdett asked you to ask me that. Yeah, well, I've got some stories I can tell you later off the air if you're interested in those. All right, so we'll kind of open up these questions we did a minute ago. I'm going to ask you different questions. Let's see, if you had to be famous for something really dumb, what would it be?
Misdirection. I would be down for a misdirection of things.
You would be famous for that? You have no sense of direction? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You get lost easily?
Yes.
Wow.
You don't mind if I tell a story?
No, go ahead, please. We got plenty of time.
Well, one day, me and Christian, we just got done.
Christian Bennett?
Yes.
Well, that's all you needed to say right there.
We got done playing basketball at the YMCA. We going to Taco Bell to get some tacos. I opened the wrong door. Like the door that you come out of while you in.
Yeah.
I'm trying to open that to enter, but I really supposed to push and go through that door. And he laughed at me so hard.
Well, I don't think Christian can laugh at anybody. Kulo, if there's anything just completely ridiculous that you would be famous for, what would it be?
I don't know. Like, that's kind of a hard question, but
Is there anything weird that you do that?
I don't do nothing weird.
You sure? Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you do or not, but we could. I'm sure there's something we could come up with. Nicknames are a big deal on our team. Do you have a nickname? I know you have a nickname.
Yes, sir.
Is there another nickname? Is there like a family nickname that anybody calls you?
No, sir. It's just EJ.
Just EJ?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You got a nickname?
To my family nickname?
Yeah.
Q.
Q? But there's not. What is it? Q Dog. All right. Well, be in the fraternity one day, I guess. You do the purple and gold, and is that what they? Okay, we got one out there. Wow. It sounded like that Georgia Bulldog commercial right there. Have you seen that? Yeah. Kind of a weird question. Would you rather your socks be wet for an entire game or your shoes to squeak every step you took?
Me, I take squeaky shoes.
Squeaky shoes?
I can't stand wet socks.
Yeah, I'm out on the wet feet, man. That just really bothers me.
Yeah.
Kulo, what you got?
I would say wet socks.
You would do wet socks.
If it's a rain game, your socks gonna get wet anyways.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is like a lot of times kids, when they get new shoes, right, what do? They take them off and play barefoot. I've been watching kids do this for 20 years at PE. They'll take off their shoes, get their shoes. These are brand new shoes, right? New shoes. We'll take our shoes off. We'll play in our socks. And then what do? Put the shoes back on. Now your feet smell like trash and your new shoes smell like trash. So I don't understand that. Let me ask you this. Would you I don't know about that one. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let me go to this. This is a good question. If you could see one event from the past or the present, what would it be? And this could be anything like historically, sports related, anything. Like if you could be at it, what would it be?
You can come back to me.
You want to do like next commercial break or?
Well, one thing I would like to see from the past, any big event from the past, is I would love to go to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl.
Like which one? Like
53.
Which one was that? Who was in it? We'll come back to you.
Yeah,
okay, he wants to go to the Super Bowl. All right.
I said the same thing when Tom Brady beat Atlanta.
That was heartbreaking. Yeah, that was heartbreaking. Have either one of you ever been to like a major sporting event? Like college game, professional game? What was like the biggest event you've ever been to?
Bama versus Tennessee. Tennessee won like 2 years ago.
Where was that at?
At Bama.
Tennessee won at Alabama.
Oh, let me think.
Was that at Tennessee? That was at Tennessee. They won at Tennessee.
I know it was at Bama.
Who got in a fight? I don't remember that. Oh.
I'm trying to think who won. Didn't Tennessee win?
Was it at Alabama? If it was at Alabama, Alabama won, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Bama won.
Because they were all smoking cigars, and I had a sinus infection for like 3 weeks after that. Yeah, I hate that. Has you ever been to any sporting event, like a large sporting event?
Yes, sir. I've been to an Atlanta Hawks game versus the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Doncic, I got to see him play.
You got to see Luka play.
Yes,
That's
sir.
amazing. How close were you? Could you get a feel for how big they were?
Yes, sir.
They're massive, aren't they?
He's tall.
Yeah. Well, and really, the message to all of our basketball players is you probably should play football, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not 6'8" or 7'2", and If you're 6'2" and you play forward, like you probably need to play football,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you two of my favorite sporting events I've been to. So, we had the 25-year it was the 20-year anniversary of Katrina. Do y'all know what Hurricane Katrina was?
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, I did. Well, that was another one. Yeah, so I saw Kobe Bryant play in New Orleans, first game back for the Hornets. And then I also went to the first game back for the Saints when they played the Falcons. And that was like a very historical game. Michael Vick played and the Saints won, and it was a wild night. So let me add, this is great because this is for parents, okay? What is one thing you wish adults understood about being a teenager now that maybe they don't understand? Oh, boy. We're locking up now. Do you think it's harder being a teenager right now or when your parents were teenagers?
It's harder for them now.
It's harder for who?
It's harder for my parents back then.
You think it was harder back then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you think you've got more distractions?
Yes.
You think you have it easier?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably do.
A lot.
You probably do. Yeah. Is there anything like, what are we on now? PlayStation 5, right?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever played like a regular Nintendo?
I played a Wii.
You played a Wii. I don't know if that's that old. But y'all have never played like an actual Nintendo, right?
Like Nintendo.
Like Mario Brothers or Pac-Man, huh?
You fold it open.
Yeah, you fold it up and slide the game in.
Yeah, I think I played one of those.
Y'all play that? Do y'all know what a VCR is?
Yeah,
Yes.
Have you ever used a VCR?
No, sir.
No. That's wild. Have y'all ever well, I guess it would be CDs for y'all. Do y'all have any CDs?
Not at all.
You don't have a CD?
No, sir.
Something like me personally?
Yeah.
I know.
You don't have a CD?
Well, game CDs.
No, but you don't have like a musical CD? No.
Nah.
Bro, let me tell you what. I've got like 100 DVDs at my house that I bought and haven't really watched any of them, and it was a giant waste of money. Who knew that streaming was going to become a thing, right? YouTube TV and Roku, like who knew that was going to happen? I wish I knew, or I wouldn't be here with you guys right now. I'd be off at the beach somewhere. All right, that's all I got, man. You guys did awesome. We'll finish up with the next segment at the Big Clay Coaches Show.
For the grace of God has appeared. It's literally, and how are we saved by God's wrath? How are we saved from God's wrath? Only through the eternal, complete, perfected work of Jesus Christ when he died on the cross in our place for our sins. That's the only way we're saved.
In a city that seamlessly blends the comforts of a small town and the amenities of a big city, we're proud to be banking beyond expectation right here in Alabama.
It only seems to get hotter as the summer wears on, especially when your air conditioning isn't keeping up. There is never a good time for your unit to quit working, but when it does, you know who to trust to fix it right. Keep it cool and reduce those high energy bills. Hemp Hill Services, your Bryant authorized dealer, will do whatever it takes to fix your air conditioning quickly and affordably. Known for their fair pricing and fast service, call your certified Bryant dealer Hemp Hill Services today for all tune-ups, repairs, and installation. 229-2090.
Oh, here we go. Yes. By the way, welcome back to the Big Clay Coaches Show. I'm Freddie Flowers, the voice of the Cougars. I was distracted, as you can see.
I probably shouldn't have grabbed that. It's got like third-degree hand burns now. That's all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, Coach, I like those previous segments. We established a few things.
Yeah, we learned a little bit.
Yeah, we did. One, we know that you fear loofahs.
Yeah, I don't know that I fear them. I just don't use them. I don't even feel right saying it. It just doesn't feel good.
I don't know. There's some folks in the audience who shall remain unnamed that seem to confirm the fear.
Yeah.
But then, so you scored for the opposition. So there was that.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
I've got a checkered past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a rough journey.
And tell me, in the last 5 years, where you have seen a student walking around with an iPod.
Well, no, I haven't. That's the only thing I can think of that would be on a playlist, right? But I think that was maybe 20 years ago now that I think about it.
Yeah. iPhone, Spotify, Tidal.
Well, that's true.
Qobuz, YouTube Music.
Well,
and I'm 56, man, and I know that.
Well, I don't pay. I do the free Pandora. I'm not they're not getting me with that, so I don't have any playlist. I'm Pandora radio all the way. So I do the stations.
Yeah, well, look, I don't blame you. If you can get it,
thank you.
If you can get it withougut forking over the dough or getting in a subscription, absolutely the way to go.
I'm so tired of subscriptions. I feel like we pay. My wife's got her eyes raised right now. We have a subscription to everything. Everything.
Well, you said if you had.
I think we have a subscription for our dang doorbell camera. Like, what is that? We can't even have a normal doorbell anymore.
Well, you were the first one to jump and said if all these streaming services you're around, you'd be on the beach. They're not giving it away for free.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying I wish I'd have known on the front end I would have invested my money in one of them, and then I wouldn't be here. But it's all good.
Well, we're going to take a quick minute. First off, we want to give a big shout-out to Landon Maynard, who allows us to host a show here at Walk-Ons here in Trussville, Alabama. So let's give Landon a big round of applause. He's a big supporter of Clay Chalkville football, does a lot of great stuff. And before, gosh, their shrimp and grits are so good.
Yeah.
Now,
so good.
You said you had something funny. Go.
Oh, no, I got to tell you this off air. This is not an on-camera thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave that right there where it lays then.
Park that one.
All right. So, Brandon, we're getting ready to go play Brandon, of course, and this thing decided to go turn off because I have me some notes. So there we go. Getting ready for Brandon in preparation. Tyson Robinson, their running back / wide receiver. We understand that he's nicked up, got a bit of a hamstring issue. But, they have a lot of other weapons as well. Lahari Bowles, a cornerback / wide receiver, and Preston Ashley, one of the defensive backs. These are some of the names that come to the forefront for Brandon. The quarterback's not bad either. So the preparation for a team that you don't see, you don't hear much about. We always hear about our neighbors around the metro area and others in the state in 6A South or up in the northern area. How do you prepare for an out-of-team state? Out-of-state team.
Yeah. I think, the message this week on Monday was, don't fear your opponent, fear your ignorance of not knowing about them. And so really just trying to kind of do a deep dive on the history of them, kind of where they've been in the last 5 years. Like I said, they've been to 2 state finals, 3 state, semifinals. And they've run up against some tough teams in those state championships, so they've been right on the cusp 2 of the last 3 years. Obviously, they had a big coaching change, which, that's always, just a weird thing to go through as a high school kid. I had one going into my senior year. Luckily, we were able to kind of overcome that and win the championship. But we had a really, really good staff that came in. And Coach Pogue is, he was, very, very famous coach, I think, in Mississippi that was at South Panola. And so I kind of explained, his background to the kids.
Right.
But, man, you look at the roster on both sides for them. They got college kids everywhere on both sides of the ball. So I think, once kids see that, they're able to look at the film and see just, they're a good program. They got good plans week in and week out. Schematically, they do similar stuff to us. And so I think, the kids, they've got a good respect. They should have a good respect for what they're capable of.
Right, and you mentioned earlier that they kind of remind you of Muscle Shoals.
Yeah.
Obviously, Muscle Shoals being a team that likes to pound the ball, that's what they do, run first. And then if you're not paying attention, it'll get you in the air. Do you see that out of this Brandon, Mississippi team?
Yeah, and it's not so much maybe the style of play. I mean, number one, they look like Muscle Shoals in the sense that uniforms are the same. They've got a great mixture of kids. And, schematically right now, with the running back going down, I think they're kind of piecing together, getting different kids the ball, who can carry the ball. They've got some kids that play both ways. Number 8, you got 1, 2, and 4. They all kind of play both sides of the ball. And so really they're just, and it's early, you got new coaching staff, so you don't really know, like, maybe offensively are some things different than last year, or defensively are they different? You just don't know kind of the ins and outs of that per se. But, right now they're 3 games into it, we're 4 games into it. And so now you start to get a good, collection of information about a team, and it's a little bit different when you've only played 1 or 2 games, right? You don't really know what they've kind of held in their pocket and what they might come out with. But at this point, it's like you kind of get a picture for who they are, what they like to do, what the tendencies are, and then you kind of build the plan around that.
And you mentioned your head coach, he spent time at South Panola.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have a new coach come to they bring that same type of system or that same type of element.
Yeah.
Would you find it valuable to maybe take a couple of peeks at some old South Panola footage to kind of see the coaching tendencies?
No.
Or is there any value in that?
No. I mean, I don't get paid enough to do that, but, we'll just look at what they got. I don't know what staff turnover. I don't know that they had much staff turnover other than the new head coach coming. I really hadn't looked into that. I do know that Will Rogers, who was a quarterback at Mississippi State, his dad's offensive coordinator, and he's been there for a few years. So I think that's still the same. Defensively, I don't know, but they're multiple. So as most teams are now, they're multiple. They played odd front, even front, in which what we've been playing the last 5 years, pretty much everybody's multiple. And so and we play our defense a lot. And once you play our defense, it's like you've seen everything, right? Because they kind of do everything that you could possibly do on defense. So I think we'll be prepared. We'll have a good game plan for what they do, what they like to do. I'm not staying up 20 hours a day to figure out what they did 10 years ago.
Right. Now, given that it's an out-of-state game, every win is an important win.
Yeah.
You always hear that said. And they know it's out of state. What does it mean? How do you explain that to the players as to what it means to win the border war?
Yeah, I think for us, it's, just what we talked about, right? You're right. We won in Florida, we won in Georgia, won in Tennessee, and this would kind of complete the circle surrounding Alabama just in the last 10 years. And so, number one, it's a quality opponent. And so it gets you more national recognition on a national stage, right? Brandon has a name that's synonymous with winning in Mississippi. We got one that's synonymous with winning in Alabama. And, people just like to see those type of matchups. I think Parker's playing Carrollton this week.
Right.
So those are, and kids want to participate in those type of events now. And so, you want to appeal to your players and maybe kids that are coming up through your program that your program will go out and play these, state border games.
All right. And fans, that noise you heard in the background, I believe that was a DoorDash.
Yeah, people are just lazy. People are lazy.
But the keys to victory for the Cougars, 4 games in, we've seen, what our own players' tendencies were.
Yeah.
Things that needed to be corrected, things they need to tighten up on, things they're doing really well at.
Yeah.
And one of the things I know you've talked to the players about before is that you don't want to get into such a way that you kind of show your hand.
Yeah.
It's kind of like playing poker. You don't want to show your hand. You want to have it loaded, if you will. But how do you get the players ready to that? What are those keys to victory so that they're not giving it away so much and keeping Brandon on their heels?
Yeah, I think, for us, really the plan, the major things you have to do well each week is you got to be able to block, you got to be able to tackle, right? Those are. I know that's like coach speak, but literally, like, you have to tackle well, right? They're going to run the ball. You don't want to give up the big play. They got a good quarterback. He's polished. The one thing I've tried to do for our kids is tell them, like, hey, Tupelo reminds me of Parker, right? And so you kind of get an idea, like, that's who they played. This quarterback from Brandon, he reminds me of the kid from Spain Park. And so they kind of get a visual idea of what this kid kind of resembles. And so we've tried to just kind of lay it out for them. Defensively, they kind of play this style like this team, or offensively, they're very similar to this team we played. And so you kind of familiarize yourself like that. But, for us, as college football has started, NFL starts, we have an advantage that coaches 20 years ago didn't have, right? We have Twitter. We've got all these social media platforms. And as we watch games, throughout the weekend or whatever, there's new ideas that come up, right? There's new things that we see that we might want to try. Like, I went to the Georgia Tech game Saturday, and I saw 100 things that I was like, wow, like, we could do that. We could try that. You know what I mean? And so those are the type things that we'll kind of be adding as the season go along. It may not mean much to the naked eye. They may not really understand where it's growing, but we kind of have a laid out plan throughout the season of starting to implement different, movements and motions and formations that you wouldn't commonly see. And the other thing is getting pieces that maybe other teams haven't seen together, right? Personnel groupings, all that kind of stuff. And so that's, with me not calling plays now, that's one of the things that I'm doing. I'm almost like an analyst on the outside of, seeing things that I've seen on TV or wherever, and just kind of presenting new ideas to Coach Hatcher, Coach Dickerson, those guys that maybe we can kind of use in the next few weeks. And then by playoff time, then you've got kind of an arsenal or a toolbox of all these different things that you've kind of been working on throughout the season.
Right. And there's little moments during the games. I mean, we had a 50-0 victory over Shades Valley, but Shades Valley had a couple of really good moments where I saw you guys get animated on the sideline, and rightfully so. Well, they were able to, sneak a run for some pretty good, first down, pretty good yardage.
Chapped,
So those little things, it's those little things, I guess, you want them to be mindful of, as the season wears on, regardless of the opponent. Yeah. Especially now that we're coming into this monster stretch. You have a very well top-ranked team. Then you've got Thompson, and then you got Mountain Brook.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the meat of the burger, if you will.
Yeah. And we don't really have time to worry about Thompson or Mountain Brook. We got our hands full this week, right? This is a nationally ranked opponent. They're number 2 in 7A over there. They've played number 1. They beat number 5 and beat number 6. So that was their first 3 games. So they have definitely been tested in a way maybe that we have not yet. And so Hueytown's probably going to be a playoff team. Pell City's got a good chance to be a playoff team. So I'm not trying to downplay them, but Clinton, Mississippi, Madison Central, Tupelo, who's won 7A, may win 7A again this year. They've been in some battles already, so we're able to see that. And you can just look and tell. Offensively, defensively, they got really good players. Kicker, he kicks it out of the back of the end zone all the time. Got a good punter, so you can tell like they're well put together in all 3 phases.
Well, it sounds like you're excited for this matchup because and you know, for the Cougars to get tested right now is really you know, we'd say is a good measuring stick as they get ready to go for it. Like you said, you don't want to look past this game, but we all know what the future holds. The schedule is there, and so the players know it, and of course the coaches know it. So getting ready to go in like that, you know, it's, hey guys, we're in for a tough stretch. Have you talked about the fact that, okay, it's one game at a time, but guys, it doesn't get any easier?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you worry about next week. I mean, it's literally week by week. There's so much involved in the game plan that you don't really have time to look ahead. Like we didn't overlook Shades Valley and start working on Brandon. Like we just worked on Shades Valley, right? I've never been able to do that. You know, I can't look at one team and then kind of prepare for another team. I don't work like that. And so you can ask my wife, I can only do one thing at a time, right? So I don't have the capacity to kind of prepare for multiple teams at a time. Just whoever we're playing, that's who we're concerned with. And next week will be next week. But now we've been excited about playing Brandon for a while. You know, they called us and I didn't know anything about them, but, you know, we were looking for a Week 5, and so I thought it would be a good test for us.
So, you know, we've got this game coming, obviously, but how do you feel about Clay Chalkville getting more of those out-of-state opponents?
Yeah.
Is that something that the program wants to look forward to trying to set up going ahead?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna go back to them next year, and that'll be a good experience for our kids to travel and maybe stay the night or whatever, you know, and just go to a different environment, different state. You know, you see different styles. And so that's, you know, like we went to Atlanta this summer, you know, to play in a 7-on-7 out of state, which we had never really done before, just so we could see some different styles of teams that, you know, because a lot of times when you play the same old people over and over and over, you kind of make your mind up about them before you played them. And so it was good for our kids just to go in every game open-minded about maybe this team's good, you know. So, you know, we're looking forward to it.
Well, that is awesome. I'm looking forward to it as well. Well, fans, there you have it. Brandon, Mississippi at home. Jerry Hood Field at Cougar Stadium. Kickoff is 7 p.m. I'm Freddie Flowers, the voice of the Cougars. To my left, it is the man who fears loofahs and the head coach of Clay Chalkville High School football, Stuart Floyd. This is the Big Clay Coaches Show coming to you live from Walk-Ons here in Trussville, Alabama. Good night to each and every one of you. God bless, and go Cougars!